We are the Atlantis Education System, and we believe in a love of learning. To accomplish that, we had to come up with a different model of education, which we call the Atlantis Model of Education. To go into why the Atlantis Model of Education is different, we first need to review the current standard model of education. The current standard model puts pressure on the teacher. She's influenced by both internal and external factors, including the relationships with the parents of the students, as well as administration and pressure to get grades over progress. This limits her flexibility in being able to cater to any one student. Additional resources are provided through her through a system of resources that give her flexibility to cater to the different students, but the problem is there's too many students for her to be able to cater her time without costing some other student some level of progress. Kids who are advanced in a subject are held back, and kids who need additional help don't get the help that they need. Everybody turns out average. This is because all the kids are confined to a box. This box is the teacher's resources. No matter how many additional resources she may have, the subject moves forward at her pace, where she is responsible for behavior as well as education and all of the above. This box limits progress, but we're always looking for results in this system, and so it is a results-oriented model where we grade the teacher and the school based on the results that they get, putting pressure on kids to conform to try to move everybody ahead at the same rate. The Atlantis model of education shifts the focus and removes the bottleneck. We focus on a system that is supported by teachers, not a teacher supported by systems. This allows for students to be able to move forward at their own rate based on their comfort level with different subjects, to be able to improve over time, because we acknowledge that the more time that students spend on a subject, the better off they're going to be. So grades become irrelevant, but the system becomes very relevant, and we need to grade the system and constantly improve it. But this is where the teacher's resources come in handy as she works with students to improve the system. So we are a progress over results-oriented model. The Atlantis model of education uses educational units that are made up of time. We track time because we believe that time in a subject will lead to better proficiency and progress. Our units are made up of 30 minutes in one subject if done independently, or 1 hour if done socially. We start with a foundation that's formed between 5 and 7 years old, where children are taught how to read and write. The main focus is on literary development and the ability to use the system. When they become 7 or older and are ready to use a broader system, they have more selections and different opportunities that they can use to move their education forward at their own pace. We do use online resources, but they're teacher-assisted as well as educational assistant supported. This means that we work from a foundation that's supported in class with teachers to have a firm grasp of reading, then math, then history, then science, as kids are able to open up different educational possibilities based on their interest, which helps them have a love of learning. These educational units build knowledge over time. We believe that practice will lead to proficiency, and so each time they consume an educational unit, they're moving forward in different subjects based on their interest. Ever expanding their opportunities and their interest means that we're constantly building these educational units to build more paths so that each child can be appreciated for their own individual interest. These educational units are built from an alliance of different content creators that provide educational units that are verified and then screened for appropriateness for our students. As they are approved, then what happens is that they're evaluated by the teacher and the students to see whether or not our students are able to consume the information. And if they're not, instead of judging the students, we judge the system. If we can improve the content, we will. If we can't, we get rid of it and we replace it with something else. This way, we're constantly improving. So every child who goes through a path helps forge a better path for future students as they go along. Even our students become content creators as well. The benefit of the Atlantis model of education is that there's multiple paths for students to have success. They continue to try different things until they get it, which means that there's a no-fail system in place. So we foster resiliency, and we use education as an option for socialization and development of interest. This also allows us to have a great deal of flexibility, both in moving at the child's pace and working with families. All education is kept in school. There's no homework, and tests are attempted until completed, and projects are based on interest, and they're all kept in school so that when our students go home, they're able to spend quality time with their families. This also means that our families are able to drop off their students whenever is convenient for them and pick them up whenever it's convenient for them. We want our system to be flexible around families because this builds a greater sense of stability. But one last benefit is that we're actually open all year round. We're not out for trackouts, there's no teacher work days. Everything is kept in school, and our students have 4 weeks of flex vacation that parents can use whenever it is convenient for them. We believe that this creates a greater sense of stability for our students so that they can focus on education and make progress at their best capabilities, giving them the opportunity to move as fast forward as they are able to. We believe in progress over perfection. We work with students to be a part of the education system. Love of learning means continuing progress for life, as we help our students to see that they're a part of the system, and we ask them to be included in its progress and help other students who come behind them. The foundations of this model allow us stability that other school systems don't have. We're able to keep our academics in school and foster family relationships so that there's no worry about whether or not a child is doing well in school. That's our responsibility. When our students go home, their responsibility is to be a part of a family and to spend quality time with their friends and their family outside of school. We also are able to keep the teacher the same all the way through the school system, from 5 years old to when they graduate. We're able to do this because the teacher doesn't need to be the expert. The system has to be the expert, and the teacher is there to support it as a team member with the students, judging the system and working together to make progress. Not only that, but our students are able to move at their own pace, which means that they may be 5 years ahead in a subject. But at the same time, since they have an individualized learning path, they're able to stay with their same age group, which means they develop socially in a good, stable environment where they don't feel judged. This also means that we have the opportunity to connect students with occupations, which is a main focus of our educational model, which allows our students to be able to see where they're going to based on their education and what their interests are as individuals. Our goal is by the time that our students graduate, they graduate with a bachelor's degree in their chosen field, 4 years of occupational experience, and be life ready financially and in terms of self-care. And our biggest goal and our belief is that they'll be lifelong learners, supported by a system and a teacher who work together to make sure that they're successful for life. Thank you for your time, and we would appreciate any support that you can give us in changing the educational model to help our kids have the best opportunity for success. We believe in a love of learning, and that takes a community. We hope you can support us and have a wonderful day.